Any other changes?
No, Your Honor.
Take a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on any items at this time? Hearing none, seeing none. Moving on to item 5. Item 5 is consent agenda. I'll take a motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Roll call.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6 is new business. Under item 6, number 1, consider motion to approve resolution 2016-5, plat of survey and lot tie agreement for Douglas and Deborah Sayers of 1201 Oakwood Drive. Are you speaking to this, or?
I can.
Either one of you?
Yeah, I mean,
Go for it.
okay. This is a plat of survey. Doug Sayers owns actually 3 lots off of Oakwood Drive. And what he's wanting to do is essentially take a piece of one of the lots, about 10 foot wide, and break that off from the rest of the lot. That small piece will then be tied to the lot that's got his house on it, so that he can protect those woodlands and kind of keep a buffer next to his house. Then the rest of it would be able to be sold for another house. At this point, my understanding is he doesn't have a buyer in mind, but he wants to just be able to sell that for development. So the only, I guess, requirement is that staff and P&Z recommended a lot tie agreement that would tie that parcel that was highlighted in yellow, the little strip parcel, to his house, so it can't be sold separately. The drawing addressed all of staff's and P&Z comments.
Any questions for Kathleen?
Didn't he know that at the time, based on another argument I've heard before, that potentially was what could be behind him, based on some of other arguments? And didn't we know that it was never assumed that that would always be woodlands, right?
Oh, well, no, I mean, he actually owns both lots. He's just wanting to take, since he owns 2 lots, he wants to take some woodlands that separate him and tie it to his other. So it's not anything that he owns behind, it's off to the side. And he's just making his own lot a little larger and his other lot smaller.
Right.
And it still be, if he ever decides to sell that off for house development, it will still be able to meet all the setback requirements.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the remnant parcel then is still large enough to meet all Polk City codes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Roll call.
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, Wolf Creek Townhomes. Under number 2, item A, consider motion to approve ordinance number 2016-1100, vacating a water main easement in Wolf Creek Townhomes Plat 6.
Very quickly, we have had the public hearing on this some time back. There was no comments for or against it. We were waiting for the new water mains to be constructed and to be accepted. They will be accepted here later on in your proceedings under Wolf Creek.
Take a motion.
Before we,
Sorry, go ahead.
have they met, there were some requirements, there were some things on those that they needed to clean up before it came to council, is that correct?
On the punch list item,
Yeah. Yeah.
And those
Yes,
have
I
been
do.
met?
Yep.
Thank you.
Does that mean you were making that motion?
so moved.
Perfect. Second. Thanks. Roll call, please.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 1. Under that, consider motion to waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2016-1100.
Has this been requested by the developer, and if so, why? Because there is new easements that are coming in its place, which would be when we accept the plat. And they really don't do any good. These easements are vacated. And in this case, the water main is in a totally different location.
It'll be a lot cleaner from a title standpoint if they can get that ordinance done and out of the way and proceed with their plat.
It's not a normal operating procedure of ours, I'd just like to have an explanation. So I would make a motion to waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2016 in 1100 and send it out for publication as required by law.
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B, consider motion to approve ordinance number 2016-1200 vacating various easements in Wolf Creek Townhomes Plat 9.
Basically a ditto of item A. These are stormwater easements, as I recall.
There's actually storm sewer, sanitary and storm, and a water main easement, and another storm sewer easement. I mean, there's numerous easements. None of the public improvements are in those easements any longer.
And a public hearing was held on this prior as well, Mayor.
Take a motion?
So. Second.
Roll call?
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Consider motion carries. Next item is consider motion to waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2016-1200. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item C, consider motion to approve resolution number 2016-08, waiving enforcement of PUD ordinance number 2002-700, requirements as it applies to the 25-foot clearance between Lot 7 of Wolf Creek Townhomes Plat 8 and Lot 4 of Wolf Creek Townhomes Plat 11.
You want to tag team? it?
Sure. This actually came about when the preliminary plat and preliminary development plan for Wolf Creek Townhomes Plat 7 was approved, several years ago. There was one garage and one building that were a little bit too close. We discussed it again when Plat 8 went through and was final platted, but there, because we didn't know what the lot number was going to be on Plat 11, we deferred that separation until this point in time, and now we know what the lot numbers are. It's a little bit lesser separation distance than what the PUD ordinance says, but again, it was approved some time ago, and the building inspectors has no issue with it in terms of building code.
Questions or a motion?
I'll make that motion, but I have some questions.
And a second, and then we'll take questions.
Second.
Go ahead.
Are these lots that are already developed on, is that true, or is this lots like they're gonna build on?
They're going to build on these lots.
And will that affect any of the building abilities, or?
No, I mean, the plan that was put together showed how the units were going to sit based on this separation distance. And so everything's been platted, all the improvements are constructed, all based on those previously approved Plat 7 plans. So it's kind of in follow-up to something that was previously approved.
The reason I ask that is because I think, in my mind anyway, PUD zoning is a little more lenient than straight R2 or whatever they are now.
There's more flexibility. It's just that the PUD says in the PUD ordinance that it's going to be a 25-foot, and it's about a 19-foot.
I might state that what might help with that, Ron, is that PUD ordinance that is being referenced by Kathleen deals specifically with Wolf Creek. It's an ordinance that they put together when they're doing their PUD that says these are the items that we're going to follow. So it's not against any one of our ordinances per se in the development, the site planning, or the zoning, or even the subdivision ordinance. But it does go against the original ordinance that the developer came up with that said that no two buildings, the back of those two buildings, are going to be closer than 25 feet.
Did Anybody else understand that? Because I didn't. So now they're gonna be 25 feet, like our ordinance says?
They're gonna, no, the ordinance doesn't say 25 feet. The developer's own ordinance
Okay.
for the
What does
rezoning
our
says
ordinance
25.
say?
It doesn't.
Doesn't address that particular issue.
Your ordinance talks more about the setbacks around the perimeter of the property, not
Mhm.
internally on the buildings. So that was part of your development plan.
Okay, thank you.
Bob, maybe you can show what's going on here. A picture's worth 1,000 words.
It's actually, these two lots right here. Yeah, that's it. And the PUD did say 25 feet, but just working to get these single-family units on there, when that PUD was written, these were attached townhomes, like 8 plexes, 6 plexes, 12 plexes. So we had a couple places here identified way back, this was 2005, when we brought that preliminary plat through. And this was one of them that was identified that this, from this corner to this corner is about 19 and a half feet or something like that. And you can see that beyond that, it's well over the 25, it's just that one little corner. So that was the only issue, and again, it wasn't approved back in 2005.
It's only the overhang that protrudes into the 25 feet, as I
Well, there's more than the overhang in this case, yes.
thought in my reading it was still 25 feet from building to building, but if you measure from the overhang,
There
it
were
was
two
19.9.
there were 2 or 3 specific locations that were identified on that plan, which I don't have with us, but on the approved plan, so it was circled and called out. There was one there, and I don't know where the other one is, but
Yeah, I mean, and they had like big asterisks on them, and we
Yeah.
did go through that at the time the plan, way back, like I said, in 2005 or so, when Plat 7 originally went through.
and that 25 is back of the building too,
Right.
not side yard setback. So, you know, even in this case, it's, well, what exactly is the back? You know, if this is, the backs really aren't even close to being 25 feet apart, but it was just an awkward situation that we wanted to clarify, so.
Just like Ron, I think I'm getting confused as well. When you're looking at are you talking about those 2 townhomes that you're pointing at? Are you talking about the one to the left?
This is Plat 8 here.
Right.
This is in Plat 11. So
Right.
this is the one that we're addressing tonight.
Okay, but when you're, I guess what I'm getting at is when you're pointing back and forth between townhomes, which 2 townhomes does that affect?
These two,
Because isn't the one to your left there a different builder?
yes.
So is it fair to,
He knows about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
is he good with it?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, when Plat 8 went through, we even said, well, we can't do it yet. We
I
would
just
do
want
it
to make
now,
sure we don't
but
have 2 builders
And he's
arguing.
got the same amended development plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's a good question.
Yeah, good point, because we don't, or at least I don't
How many
want
wrestling
coming back
matches
later
are there?
saying, hey, you let them do it, why can't I do it?
Exactly, so, all right.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes,
Item D, consider motion to approve resolution number 2016-09, accepting public improvements for plats 9, 11, and 12. Questions, comments?
Yeah, the public improvements we wound up constructing, essentially treating these as 3, they were constructed simultaneously, so we observed and did one punch list and everything for plats 9, 11, and 12. For the most part, 11 and 12, that also includes some water main relocation, some adjustments to services because of different numbers of townhomes. There were some services that had to be abandoned because there were fewer services needed. And it also includes the extension of Wolf Creek Drive. That's probably the most major improvement, public improvement that was there. So, and all those public improvements have been completed in conformance with the approved plans and specifications, city specifications, and that they have provided the necessary maintenance bonds for the paving and the utilities. And I guess that's really it. The sidewalks will be constructed with the building permits for each one of the individual townhomes. Developer has provided a letter saying they will install streetlights, so And actually, that's a proposal that's been signed by Midland Co-op, so they're on the hook for that too, so.
Take a motion.
So move.
Second. Questions? Roll call, please.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, consider motion to approve resolution number 2016-10, approve final plat for Wolf Creek Townhomes, plat 11. Questions, comments?
All legal documents are in order, ready to go.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
Questions? Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item F, consider motion to approve resolution number 2016-11, approve plat for Wolf Creek Townhomes, plat 12. Take a motion.
So move.
Second. Roll call?
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, consider motion to approve second reading of ordinance number 2016-100. Take a motion.
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4, consider motion to approve second reading of ordinance number 2016-200. Motion? Go ahead.
Is there a reason why we have to do that?
Why we have to,
Couldn't waive the third reading?
because we need a super majority tonight, and it was apparently that we didn't have that.
No, you live on this
Oh, okay.
one. It says strictly
Well,
on
I
tax
just-
policies.
This impacts everyone in the city. I think we should not go through all the steps.
And that's why we're,
Yeah.
that's where we're at, so we're gonna, with Councilman Sarcher being out. So I need a motion on number 4.
So move.
All this.
Yeah.
Second?
Roll call?
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-300. Take a motion?
So move. Thank you.
Thanks.
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-400. Take a motion?
So move.
Second?
Roll call?
Lane.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-500. Take a motion?
So,
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
no.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8, consider motion to approve second reading of ordinance number 2016-600. Take a motion?
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
No.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-700. Take a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
No.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 10, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-800. Take a motion?
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
No.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 11, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-900. Take a motion?
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lane.
No.
Dvorak.
Yes. Motion carries. Item 12, consider motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2016-1000. Take a motion?
Approve. Motion to approve.
57.
I motion to approve. Second?
Roll call?
Mordini.
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Lane,
No.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Motion carries. You only have to go through that one more time. Okay, item 7, just a couple quick things under mayor's report. I went to the chamber meeting last week, made a presentation, just kind of the annual state of the city, if you will. My speech was slightly shorter than President Obama's, but a little bit better, I'd like to say. Anyway, yeah, I just gave them a quick update. It was well received and lots of good stuff going on with the chamber. I think they're going to have another banner year this year. Actually, I've got a couple other groups that I'm going to speak to here in the next couple of weeks as well, so it's kind of fun getting out to these groups first part of the year. Went down to Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting last Wednesday. Interestingly enough, several communities in the metro are feeling some of the same issues that we have regarding field space and lack thereof. Increased enrollment, not enough field space, flat budgets, kind of common theme. But the Convention Visitors Bureau is a fun group to be a part of, with lots of good stuff going on in the metro. And they're doing their best to continue to promote our area. So I think it's worthwhile being a part of, for the little contribution that we give them. Kind of as a piggyback onto that, with the conversation regarding field space, had a meeting with a couple people from the North Polk United Soccer Club last night, as a matter of fact, down here. We're continuing on these discussions that we've been having since the failure of what happened with the bond in August. And I anticipate those conversations to continue to be had, but I'll again say what I said then, which was there was no plan B if the bond referendum didn't pass in August, and there's still no plan B. And so we're encouraging all of these groups to be creative in their scheduling and various methods to deal with all of the incoming youth. That's all I have. Mr. Mordini.
I would just, add on to what you said. Some people have said, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Just a reminder of history there. About 4 years ago, we didn't have a pool in the vote. At that time, many people said, if you have the pool, I would have voted for it. So we did it again with a pool, and now they're saying, well, if you didn't have a pool, I would have voted for it. The public has spoken 2 times, and if you consider all the school votes, more than that. So, we followed their lead, and that's what we're doing.
And I want to follow up just to say that we're doing our best to work together, be positive, have open dialogue, open communication, but, there's a challenge that is going to be on people to figure out.
And it's been brought up before, but I'll just say it again. It's not that any of us up here wouldn't like to do new fields or new anything, but we only have a certain amount of money in the pot, as I've heard it explained to us. And there's many people asking for the money out of that pot, and it can only go so far. So since none of us up here, to my knowledge, are willing to raise taxes on everybody in town, I don't see that changing.
Anything else? Thank you. Councilman Sargent apologizes he can't be here. He's out of town with his family. Mr. Anderson.
No, I'd just like to echo what Rob said, agreeing with him that yes, we want to move forward, yes, we want these things to happen within the city, but we need cooperation because of just what Rob said. The money isn't there. We have to make the most of what we have with our money.
Exactly. Perfect. Mr. Lane.
I asked for this 2-page thing to be put in the packet just to bring everybody aware that this is getting to be a greater and greater concern among the people managing trails and bikeways. With Americans with Disability Act, you can't deny people access to it that are on some motor assisted type of a vehicle, but yet you have to make sure that only those that really need that are using it, and they're, if somebody's just not taking an ATV down the trail to drag a deer out or something. But the whole thing is, if you don't have a policy in place, you don't have anything from which you can deny people or say why you're doing it or whatever. So as we consider trying to get a trail all the way through town, we need to be thinking about putting together a policy similar as this. What they do is that they issue actual like a license or whatever, permit to be on there with that type of a vehicle. And so if they don't have that permit, then they're jacked off the thing, but, shut up. So anyway, like I said, this was just more to bring it to your attention.
Sounds good.
So it's something to be thinking of, and you can't ask them why, you know, as long as they have a doctor's thing, you can't deny them the access. So it occupied the entirety of our last bicycle collective meeting, and it most likely will the next one as well. So it's a big concern.
We could probably do that even before any trail is even built. I mean, couldn't it just be a blanket policy for any trails going through the city of Polk City?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a blanket policy for anything that's on Polk Conservation managed lands.
Can we instruct staff to get that drawn up for approval later?
I think so, but what I was going to ask, and I'll probably have to talk with Rob Sarchet, I think if there's one that's being put together by the MAC, so it treats everybody the same way, would probably be a better way to approach this.
Perfect.
So when Rob gets back, allow me to talk with him. He can bring it up, and let's see if we can get a model ordinance out of the MAC that all communities can adopt, so it's the same thing.
Perfect. Great.
The only other thing I had, I know I've brought this up a few times, and I know we're sending these out electronically, not making paper copies for everybody anymore. But I don't know about the rest of you, but I really do not need that level of detail on the Snyder bills. There's 28 extra pages that could have been cut out of this packet. Somebody would have had to stand and feed them into the copier. I don't know if all of the rest of you like to have that level of detail. I don't really like to micromanage at that level.
I'm okay as long as whoever normally reviews those doesn't have any questions. I think they're probably doing it in good faith for us, but I see what you're saying.
Would be happy to knock those pages down, so whatever you
There
need
used to
to.
be a consolidation in the bills as well. I believe we had 10 individual Mid-American bills. You know, they used to be all totaled up with having just one line item, and it used to be alphabetical order too. Made it a lot easier to go through. Just observations.
I'm fine streamlining as long as somebody before us is responsible for blessing them.
Well,
I think
do you
from the-
go through and add all 28 of those
No.
pages up to make sure it totals the, no, 'cause I assume people are able to do that, so that's why I say I don't need that level of documentation.
I think from the bill standpoint, I think is what is it, since I see what you're saying, it's categorized by department rather than, I get what you're saying on the Mid-American thing.
We'll see what we can do to minimize those.
Anything else?
That's it. That's my opinion, like I said.
Thank you, Dan, because it took me a couple hours to memorize those.
Mr. Dvorak.
I have nothing this evening.
Excellent. Council discussion? Anything else to add for the good of the cause? City administrator report?
One item tonight, Mayor. We have, with Home Serve, there are 38 contracts that have been out, that's been issued. 35 is water line, 3 is sewer line. No one has taken interior plumbing yet. Most of these have been purchased through either our website or through the direct mail, phone. Both of those are at 42%, and telephone, what they called in, is 16%.
Did we put this here, or did they send us this?
They sent that
Yeah,
to us.
I love this, though, because it, did you? Thank you.
Oh, you did
Oh,
that?
Yes.
I just really appreciate that.
You like
Detail
the,
because-
you like the
You like the pretty colors.
Colors are good. This utilization, because we pushed for it, you know, we said, hey, everybody wants it, and I think this is just a sign of people did want it. They're probably all Pine Ridge.
I was just gonna say, I hope the majority of those people live down in a certain area.
People in that area were very nervous to get this in place.
All right, moving on. Yeah,
No, I do not.
okay, so. Attorney's report,
Nothing, Your Honor.
engineer's report,
Nothing, Your Honor.
public works report,
Nothing.
technology report.
Just wanted to say, quick update, we had 45 video views for that last council meeting. The majority happened on the actual day that we went live. There was a couple remainder views or post views after on the 14th and 15th. So just kind of keep you abreast of that.
It's impressive. Actually, that's
Hi, everybody.
pretty.
Can I say hi to my kids, because they're probably watching right now? That's probably half of them, because they were clicking on the website that I was here. So. Not to deflate your 45 number, but you know, I'm just saying, my kids were all excited about the YouTube thing, so. I don't, apparently I'm a tuber now or something, I don't know. Anyway, thanks, Jake.
Well, I did receive a couple comments from people that said they enjoyed it, they thought it was informative. They they liked it.
And that's one thing, we'll just continue to try to make it better and better each time we stream, so.
And Jake, I know I'm beating you up about this, but I look forward to when we're doing P&Z and park meetings too.
Yep, definitely working forward.
I'm looking forward to have that in place.
I did notice that the couple that was coming here all the time, and that they said they'd rather watch it in the computer, they were here last meeting, but not tonight, so.
Hi, Bob and Roberta.
That's who I had a phone call from. She said she thought it was great, not having to get out.
Still on Netflix?
It's not been released yet.
Although I understand we're right up there with Star Wars.
Good job. Fire department, wow, that was impressive. Fire department report, nobody here. Police department?
No report.
Library, nobody here. Citizen liaison, nobody here. I would take a motion.
I just have
Oh, whoa, one more thing.
quick question for Roger. In the past meetings, we've authorized some hiring of part-time people, but I've never heard any feedback if they accepted those positions. Do we have them hired or?
Both of them have, and we're to the point where we just need to get them in here and have them sign W-2s and stuff, and they're ready to go to work. One of the officers has been in and done 4 hours of training with us, and we've got most of the uniform equipment purchased, and we're ready to go.
Okay, thanks.
Is that
We
who
don't know it.
some of us have seen ride around, 2-man cars? Is that probably him, or?
Probably. You may have seen the reserve. He was out last weekend. But this, I think this guy would have been the plain clothes.
And is there any prognosis for more? Or have we heard yet? Is anybody else beating down our door to come in with them? Well, I didn't know if there's any other candidates out there yet, so. No.
Not yet. I'm going to tell you, I lost my train of thought here. I'll think of it in a minute, I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to make that motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Go Cyclones.
I'm sorry.
Hey, playing Kansas tonight. I sold